Here we go. Welcome into the show. You're watching the San Francisco 49ers Report. My name is Chase Sr., and as always, no matter where you are, how you're tuned in, thank you so much for making today's show a part of your day. And what we're getting into here over the course of the next several minutes, there are a lot of and early developments that we've seen so far for San Francisco that serve as a lot of great news and developments for Niner fans and for this ball club here in 2025. And we're going to take a look at some offseason question marks that we had for this football team and some early season takeaways, which answer a lot of the question marks that we had for this team going into 2025. I do want to begin here, though, because I want to gauge where the fan base is at. And I do think the NFC West is going to be one of the most competitive divisions in all of football this year. And so far, the early returns from this division point to that, right? The Niners are 2-0. The Rams are 2-0. The Cardinals are 2-0. The Seahawks are 1-1. Niners, Cardinals going down on Sunday. So who is the biggest threat to San Francisco this year in this division? Type S for the Seahawks, R for the Rams, C for the Cardinals. Let your voices be heard here on the show. And comment down below. All right, let's begin here. This sets the foundation for everything that we're talking about here on the program today, and we're going to get into all of these points here. The biggest concerns that I had for the Niners going into 2025, the youth on defense, the offensive line for San Francisco, overall roster depth because of all of the players they lost this offseason, the kicking game, goodbye Jake Moody, and overall team health, because last year, San Francisco, the number one most injured team in the NFL. And so we begin on the defensive side of the ball. How impressive has this defense been led by Robert Saleh? And what's crazy, the early returns that we've gotten from this Niners defense and how well they're playing already as the third youngest defense in the National Football League. Here's where San Francisco ranks, and they could have never done this last year. Bad coaching, not enough depth, a lot of injuries, no adjustments made throughout the season or in-game, and schematically, they were very flawed. They were also bad in a couple of key areas, third down, in the red zone. And so the 49ers defense through 2 games, they are 7th among 32 teams in the NFL in points per game allowed at 17. They're 6th in yards given up per game at 268.5, number 6 in yards per play at 4.6, 7th in third down conversion rate. And the red zone defense, I'd like to see it improve here. I think it will. 66.6%, meaning when teams get inside the red zone, they're scoring touchdowns nearly 67% of the time. That ranks 20th. The Niners team DVOA in all 3 phases. I think they've played some pretty good complementary football to start analytically. For DVOA, the special teams unit, second to last in the NFL. I think a big reason for that, the 2 missed field goals in week 1. But on defense, they are 5th in DVOA. On offense, number 11. As a team, number 13. And a big reason why this defense has been playing well so early and surprising a lot of us, turning our heads in the process, it's how well these rookie defenders have played. And going into the year, I had said, there are going to be multiple rookies from this draft class who have an opportunity to start. And so far, we've seen a couple of them start, and they've been playing really well. Mykel Williams, Upton Stout, Marquis Siegel. The role for Alfred Collins got bigger from week 1 to week 2. Nick Martin has been a healthy scratch, but man, he showed a lot of flashes throughout the preseason. I think CJ West will start to play more at some point. And the Niners rookies against the Saints, they directly contributed to winning. And you have to imagine they can only continue to get better with this coaching staff, what they've shown, and the abilities that they possess. Mykel Williams was awesome against New Orleans. 5 tackles, 4 of which were solo, helped to push and collapse the pocket, and he was really good against the run. 2 TFLs. Upton Stout, he's gotten picked on a little bit and targeted the first 2 games of the year. That's expected, though. I just like the energy, the speed that he plays with, the aggression that he plays with. And against New Orleans, he had 5 tackles, 4 of which were solo. And Robert Saleh called his number on a corner blitz, and he had a sack of Spencer Rattler. Marquis Siegel, he's played really well the first 2 weeks. 6 tackles, 2 solos. did give up a touchdown to Juwan Johnson, but Juwan Johnson had the size advantage. And then Alfred Collins, a bigger impact eye test-wise as compared to the box score, but he still had 2 tackles, 1 quarterback hit. The real estate that he was able to occupy at defensive tackle and the disruptive nature that he played with really caught my eye when I rewatched that game. And what you love to see, some improvements from these rookies from week 1 to week 2. This is what it's all about. And I know some people will say they're going to hit a rookie wall at some point. They're going to get tired. Didn't happen last year for the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. Quiniel Mitchell and Cooper DeJean were rookie starters for the number 1 defense, a team that won the Super Bowl, and they never hit that rookie wall. And so with advancements in medical technology and training and how this Niners defense has other stars on this team, I think that this rookie curve can be avoidable to a certain extent. But the week 1 to week 2 jump, Alfred Collins, these are Pro Football Focus overall grades, went from 27.9 to 62. Michael Williams, 47 to 59.3. Upton Stout, 32.5 to 67.7. CJ West barely played the first 2 weeks. He went down 58.1 to 50.5. And then Marquise Siegel went down from 59.8 to 41.4. A big reason for that, he gave up the touchdown. But again, Juwan Johnson had the size advantage, and Spencer Rattler threw a great touch ball down the sideline. Here's what John Lynch said about this Niners defense and the job that Robert Saleh has been able to do so far. I love the style we're playing with. We're playing our brand of football, which is running to the football and arriving with bad intentions. I think if you have that as a foundation, we have a lot to do with talent, and it's going to continue to ascend and get better. I agree with that, and I love that term, playing defensive football with bad intentions. And going into week 3 here, we have a matchup between the 49ers and the Cardinals. This is a sneaky big matchup inside the NFC West, and sneakily, I think it's one of the best games on the week 3 slate across the NFL. Next up for this 49ers defense, a matchup and a battle against Kyler Murray. And it's been well documented that San Francisco's defense has struggled against mobile quarterbacks over the last few years, but a lot of these Niners defensive players really excited for this matchup because they've said that Robert Saleh has some tricks up his sleeve. And they're going to need it to stop Kyler Murray. He torched this Niners defense last year, 542 all-purpose yards and 6 touchdowns in Arizona's 2 wins against the Niners last year as the Cardinals pulled off the sweep of San Francisco. And Bosa said in the locker room on Wednesday, I'm excited about the plan this week to combat Kyler Murray. Robert Saleh even said, we've got some things that we have planned that are small, but they can accumulate to big things within the game plan. And I'm excited to see how it all plays out. Before we continue to move forward on today's show, be sure to hit that subscribe button for free daily content here on the 49ers Report. When you watch our shows, I want you to come away a more informed Niner fan. I want you to think a little bit. I want you to be entertained. I want you to have a voice. We're 422 people away from 171,000 subscribers. Let's continue to build the Niner empire here at Chat Sports. All right, still to come here on the show. And I started the show off in a particular way where I said there are a lot of early developments that Niner fans should be excited about here in 2025. And it's all about the concerns that we originally had for this team going into this year. And it looks as though we've answered some of those things. So stay tuned for that. Plenty more to get to here. Our sponsor for today's San Francisco 49ers Report, though, our friends at Prize Picks, the best daily fantasy sports app in the game. Right now, you can win big up to 2,000 times your money, and this is the best way to get action on sports all across America. It's simple to play. Just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. If you get your picks right, you could cash in. Prize Picks always puts their users first. All withdrawals, fast, safe, and secure. Prize Picks offers Venmo, Apple Pay, MasterCard, and more for quick and easy deposits into your account this football season. It's the best way to win cash this football season. Which players are going off? which ones aren't. Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your takes into cash all season long on Prize Picks. And our lineup for Sunday. Let's go with Christian McCaffrey more than 36.5 receiving yards. Kyler Murray less than 220.5 passing yards. And then the special this week from Prize Picks. Patrick Mahomes more than a half passing yard. All he has to do is throw for 1 passing yard, and that's an automatic dub. Download the app today. Use the code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. Of course, going into this year for the Niners and over the last few years, right, we've had some concerns about this 49ers offensive line, but some really good early season developments up front in the trenches offensively for San Francisco here. And Jake Brendel has been one of the top centers in the NFL through 2 games, according to Pro Football Focus. I know a lot of you are surprised by that. Myself and Chip, we are as well. His overall PFF grade, 79.1. That is second among 44 centers in the league. His pass blocking grade is 12th at 68.7. Run blocking grade ranks 3rd at the position at 79.2. He has not given up a sack, has given up 4 pressures. That does rank 35. But if he continues to play like this all year, that will help out this Niners offense tremendously. At right tackle, not only is this big for the sake of this Niners team this year, but also the future, because San Francisco signed Colton McKivitz to a 3-year, $45 million contract. And we saw the leap from 2023 to 2024, and it looks as though maybe McKivitz is making more strides from 2024 to 2025, because he too has played pretty well to start the season. Overall PFF grade of 73.1, that's 14th among 94 offensive tackles. Pass blocking grade, 84.3, that's number 6. Run blocking grade, I think he'll get better here because that's a strong suit for him, and it has been despite some of his struggles. 63.8, that's 31st. The sack that he got docked for, it wasn't on him. Kyle Shanahan said that. I said it during the broadcast. He took the defensive end to the ground. Then the defensive end got up, and he sacked Mac Jones, who held onto the ball too long. And then McKivitz has also given up 2 pressures. So going into this year, a couple of question marks for the Niners, right? Center, right tackle. So far, Colton McKivitz playing well. So far, Jake Brendel playing well too. And then at left guard, we had question marks and concerns about Ben Bartch, a former 4th-round pick, because he's never stayed healthy. But then throughout the preseason, we started to see the rookie 7th-round pick out of Iowa, Connor Colby, start to make some strides. And Ben Bartch is now hurt again. He's on injured reserve with an ankle injury. And Connor Colby is now going to be the starter at left guard. I think this is a big upgrade for San Francisco. And I think the Niners may have found something in the 7th-round pick out of Iowa. In week 2, among all of the Niners offensive linemen, he had the lowest blown block percentage of any Niners up front in week 2. And that's a huge sign for him. And when I went back and watched the tape, it's a big sign for this Niners offense too. He was really impressive. The overall knowledge of the game, the cerebral nature from that left guard spot, the athleticism, and for a guy who's 6'5", he plays with really good bend, really good leverage, and he did some really nice things where he was able to pass blockers off, get to that second level, and I think him at left guard will help out this Niners offense because he's a better player than Ben Bartch, and also the 50 games started that he had at Iowa, that's helping him out early because he doesn't seem to be fazed by that much. And the overall roster depth was another issue that we had with this Niners ball club heading into this year. Well, thanks to what San Francisco did in the 2024 draft and the 2025 draft, this roster depth, I think, is better than all of us thought. And we've seen so far to start this season that this overall roster, I think, is in a good spot for this year, and it can continue to grow in future years. And when you hit on draft picks, it helps you tremendously on the salary cap because these players, if they end up being good, are cost-controlled assets. And John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan desperately needed to hit on the 2024 class and the 2025 class. I think they did. Look at their returns, the ROI, their returns on investment that the Niners have gotten already, and how bright the future looks here. Ricky Pearsall right now is the number one wideout. He's been great to start the year. He's a starter at wideout. Renardo Green, second-round pick. He is your starting outside corner opposite of Diamador Lenore. In the third round, Dominic Pooney, he's your starter at right guard. Malik Mustafa, fourth-round pick. Once he comes back, he's your starting safety. Isaac Arendo, I hope that he can stay healthy because the ability is there. Injuries are a concern, but he's helping you as the kick returner right now. Jacob Cowing, he's going to come back soon. Had a great spring. Jarrett Kingston, unfortunately, no longer on this team. The Niners tried to play roster Tetris with him last year, but he got poached. And then Tatum Bethune, I like his future as a developmental backup middle linebacker, and he's helping you on special teams too as a seventh-round pick. And then this 2025 draft class, Mykel Williams, first-round pick, starter. Alfred Collins at some point soon, going to be a starter. Nick Martin, I love the potential that he has. Upton Stout, starter. CJ West, his role will increase. Jordan Watkins was balling before the ankle injury. 4.3 speed. Jordan James, good running back for a fifth-round selection. Marquis Siegel, rookie starter. Curtis Rourke, a future number 3 quarterback. Connor Colby, starter at left guard. So San Francisco's been able to stockpile their roster with a lot of these young players here. Another issue that we had going into the year, and another concerns about the kicking game. Jake Moody lasted one game. And how about everybody taking a victory lap, or at least some people taking a victory lap, after that game winner that he had in a preseason game against the Raiders, saying, Jake Moody is accepting all of your apologies right now. He lasted one game for San Francisco. Nearly cost them the game. Kyle Shanahan, John Lynch sleep on it, coming off that Seattle win, and they came into the office on Monday and they said, we can't continue to do this. So he's out, now on the Bears practice squad. Insert Eddie Pinheiro. What does he do in his first game as a Niner? 2 big kicks in that game of 40-plus yards. He's been one of the most accurate kickers of all time. 4th most accurate kicker in all of football, minimum 100 attempts. And what does he do against the Saints? No doubters from 40-plus. And then on the injury front, we posed this question going into this year. Can the Niners just stay healthy? Can the football gods help out San Francisco here? Especially with a couple of players, right? Most importantly for Christian McCaffrey. He has looked healthy. He has been a huge boost to this Niners offense in the red zone, as a route runner, as a ball carrier, as a pass protector, more than 100 all-purpose yards in each of the first 2 games of the year, and he looks good. Ricky Pearsall, I'd said he'll break out as long as he can stay healthy. He's been healthy up until this point. Hopefully that continues, and he's looked awesome. Ricky Pearsall this season has 8 catches. All of them have gone for first downs. For this Niners offense to be good this year, he needed to take a leap, and Slick Rick has taken that leap. And so 49ers fans should be encouraged by what they've seen from this team to start off 2025. And I think the arrow is once again pointing up for San Francisco here, now and in the future. And it quickly can make us forget about what happened last year when the Niners went 6-11. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button here for the best Niners coverage right here on YouTube. We have shows coming your way every single day.